Greetings, everyone. I'm Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility, here to report another sad loss in the music world. The late, the great American bass player Anthony Jackson has passed away on October 19th, 2025, at the age of 73. Of course, born Anthony Claiborne Jackson, born in New York City, 1952. He had been ill quite a bit in recent years. I believe he had a stroke or two and was suffering with Parkinson's disease. But an amazing, amazing bass player who literally has played with everybody. And if you've been kind of paying attention over the last 24 hours, you've probably seen lots of heartfelt messages from many musicians who had the wonderful opportunity of playing and recording with Anthony Jackson. The outpouring of love is crazy. Of course, he big claim to fame was one of the innovators on the 6-string contrabass guitar. Played lots of different kind of basses over the years, Fenders and whatnot, and Jackson bass, the Dan Electro, right? But just one of those guys that his style just fit with every kind of music, but whether it be pop or jazz or fusion or rock, the guy has played with everybody. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of these classic albums that he has recorded on. And he did some stuff as a leader, but mostly he was that kind of like bass player that everybody went to. So probably most well known for his work with Al Di Meola. Right, of course, he played on that debut album, Land of the Midnight Sun. He was on Elegant Gypsy, Casino, Splendido Hotel, Tour de Force, Electric Rendezvous, and Tiramisu, Kiss My Axe, Flesh on Flesh, so on and so forth. A few more after that. He has done work with vocalists like Roberta Flack, appeared on a bunch of 70s albums with Roberta Flack, also did a lot of albums with Patty Austin, right? Michael Camilo. He played with the Mandoki Soulmates, right? So again, kind of moving out of like the fusion realm into sort of other things. He did some work with Hun Fukamachi. Did a couple albums with the great Eric Gale. He recorded 3 albums with someone we've talked about here on the channel quite a bit, Taro Masahino, right? City Connection, Daydream, and Double Rainbow. Did some albums with Garland Jeffries, Chaka Khan, right? Going into on the funk side of things. Did a bunch of cool albums with Steve Kahn. All right, so of course there's the great Eyewitness album from 1981. Also worked on Modern Times and Casa Loco, Helping Hand, Public Access, right? Headline Crossings, The Suitcase, the awesome live album, Live in Cole in 1994. Parting Shot, he did a couple albums with Tanya Maria, with Harvey Mason. And if you really look, I think George Lamy was talking about it amongst us on the channel yesterday. There was a time like in 77, 76, 77, 78, this guy was doing like 20, 30, 40 albums a year. It's crazy. It's just really crazy how much he's done. He did some albums with Michael Petrucciano. Did a few albums with Buddy Rich. He also worked alongside Lee Ritenour for a number of years. He was on the landmark Captain Fingers album, The Captain's Journey in 78. He did the Color It and Festival albums as well. He did a few albums with Mike Stern, right? The Odds or Evens albums in 1991. Who Let the Cats Out, All Over the Place in 2012. Hiromi Uhara did a bunch of those. A lot of stuff with Hiromi. The Spark album, 2016. Alive, Move, Voice, Brain, and Another Mind, right? All within the 2000s, right? On the Telarc label. Did a few albums with Grover Washington Jr. And then if you look through, you can see he did stuff. He played on an album by the Bee Gees. Still Waters in 1997. Did a bunch of George Benson albums. In Your Eyes in 2020. Did a couple of Gato Barbieri albums. Bunch of albums with Peebo Bryson. He's on a Jimmy Buffett album. Did a couple albums with Dennis Chambers. Norma Connors, Chick Corea. He's on the Leprechaun from 1976. I mean, it's crazy. I can go on and on. He played on albums by the Four Tops, Carlos Garnett. Played on One of a Kind by Dave Grusin from 1977. Did a couple albums with Lionel Hampton in the 80s. Freddie Jackson, Masaru Umada, Quincy Jones, Sounds and Stuff Like That from 1978. Played on a couple of Earl Clue albums. Played on some Wayne Krantz albums. Did an album with Borelli Legren, My Favorite Django from 1995. Reggie Lucas, Survival, 1976. Teo Macero, Impressions of Virus, 1980. Played on the self-titled Madonna album from 1983. Played on Secret Story by Pat Metheny, 1992. Bette Midler, Thighs and Whispers, 1979. Barry Miles, Skytrain, 1977. The O'Jays, Ship Ahoy, 1973. Simon Phillips, Another Life, 1997. Lou Rawls, Shades of Blue, 1980. David Sanborn, Change of Heart and Heart to Heart from 87 and 90. Arturo Sandoval, Flight to Freedom on the GRP label, 1991. Crazy stuff. Carly Simon, Doc Severinsen, Steely Dan Gaucho, 1980. Michael Urbaniak, Fusion 3 from 1975. Ecstasy of 1978. Luther Vandross, Never Too Much from 81. Sadao Watanabe, bunch of albums. Dave Weckl, a bunch of albums. Yeah, it's just an incredible, incredible talent that people were ecstatic to work with. Other musicians wanted this guy to play bass on their album. Silky smooth delivery. He could burn when he wanted to. He could just lock into the groove and do that sort of thing. Very lyrical, very melodic. One of the great, great bass players of the Fusion era. And like I said, on so many other albums, he could fit into basically any style of music. And that's what made him so valuable to so many musicians. And I can always see him with his glasses, hanging out on his contrabass, on his Fender, and just doing what he does best. He's an amazing soloist. But like I said, if he wanted a more reserved, just kind of someone to kind of lay down the foundation of a song, he could do that as well. And yeah, he's missed. I read the little statement from Al Di Meola. He and Al were very, very close friends, and he, like I said, played on a lot of albums by Al. And his little kind of eulogy to Anthony really kind of said it all. So yeah, just he's going to be missed. A giant in the jazz and fusion and funk world. Anthony Jackson leaves us at the age of 73. October 19th is the official date of death. And yeah, go out. Yeah, I named a bunch of albums. There's a ton more if you really want to get a feel for what he's all about. Go back to the 70s, the 80s, and 90s. Listen to some of the Hiromi stuff from more recent times. It's all great. All great. And an amazing, amazing bass player that had so much character and tone to his sound. Yeah. He's going to be missed. Anthony Jackson leaves us. He's up there jamming with the greats as we speak. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we get the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options. They're all down there. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you're here for the first time, a wealth of fusion content on this channel. We've got a show once a month called 4 Fusion Friday. We have a whole playlist of a couple of years worth of videos talking about fusion albums, and we've talked about Anthony Jackson more than a few times on that show, so please tune into that and check it out. And thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. Take care. Bye-bye.